All right.
Bars.
This is weird just doing this the second time. It's
Yeah.
not that bright, my nigga. Like
Okay, I'll get used to it. Yeah.
you're like super lame. All right.
So what happens was we set up outside. Took us like an hour.
Definitely. Well,
And,
mainly because we're slow too.
Yeah. And then it started drizzling. The rain started drizzling from the sky. And then we thought, well, it's not good for the camera.
Yeah.
Or the electrical equipment.
It's not good for the biscuits either.
Yeah, and on that as well. Yeah. So we switched to the room.
We improvise like we usually do. I don't know if I'm
Makes sense.
Irish or British or Australian.
Or
All three.
all none of the
Or all three. So, oh fuck, I have to say this again. Welcome to episode 12 of the Ataraxy podcast. Today we're gonna talk about things that we kind of care about.
Yeah.
Real quick, this man's collection is still out. If you want to go buy some stuff, Gio put some images on the screen showing the collection, so you could advertise him, so he
World Wide Web.
could trade
Period.
money for goods.
Seam Ripper dot
Space. Woo! By the time this is out, should the thing be out? Today's the what? Today's the 10th. Oh shit. Okay, yeah. By the time this is out, my shit is out too. It'll be out for 2 weeks from the time I dropped it, which is I think Saturday, June 15th. So, if you want some free stuff, it's literally free except you pay shipping, cause I don't have that much money to waste on y'all niggas. So it's a free mystery item. I don't know what it is yet. I'm gonna pick it out. It's mystery to me too. I'll pick it out, and then after the 2 weeks, I'll close the store, and then I'll ship it out to y'all niggas as fast as I can. Hopefully, I'll have enough money to do that. I'm not that big, so it's probably gonna be like 5 orders to be realistic. So, yeah, if you want some, thedojoclub.com. If you want some Seam Reaper, one of ones, cut and sewn. After the poor kids did it, and people wore it, they gave it to thrift stores, and then he found it, and he was like, "This is nice." And then he and then he customized
And then I
it,
customized it.
and
made
then put
it.
his own sweat and tears on top of the
Godly.
kids. On top of the kids' sweat and tears is Acre sweat and tears, and he's Asian, so that's fitting. So
Not only that, I have accessed the intelligence that is God, and put that same message into.
So
these-
basically, if you
these
wear the
garments.
clothes, you're basically wearing a piece of God on
Basically.
yourself at all
on
times
top of your skin.
until you take it off.
Yeah.
Actually, the God stays on you after you take it off.
Yeah.
It's a swag that you acquire, and it stays in you.
Basically.
And the website, I'm adding. Well, I already added it, but there's only like one book in there, which is Sapiens. And I only started taking notes on like the 13th chapter, so I have notes from there. I stole from Derek Sivers' podcast on Tim Ferriss. I'll link it in the description of this, wherever you're watching it. He basically talks about how every book he's read, at first he would write notes for himself in his like hard drive, and he'd have notes for like 200 something books. And then he would just go over it, like let's say while eating, whatever, while on the bus. He could just pull up his phone and go through his
That's
notes.
some next dedication, man.
Bro, that's super tight though. You never forget. You could be like, oh yeah, I remember this book, but I don't
Yeah.
even remember the key concepts. And you just
Mhm.
click, and then you go over it. You're like, oh yeah, that's true. I can restart applying that when I forgot to. It's kind of tight. Oh, I should have put the hand here.
What hand?
The mannequin hand right there.
Oh, it's too late.
It's not too late. When this dies,
Okay. Yes. Okay.
I'm gonna send you on a mission to go across the room. Anyways, so I'm great at stealing things. So I'm like the Kakashi of the real world.
So it makes him an artist.
Oh yeah, fuck, I'm not even special.
Yeah.
At least I admit it though. Anyways,
All art is theft.
I decided to do that on my own website. So Sapiens is the first book. It kind of took a while to fucking put that shit in fucking. It's kind of annoying.
The notes itself.
Yeah, it was annoying midway through because like I'm typing it right. I'm
Mm.
not doing ebooks, so I'm not just copy pasting.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's just like it's for me, but if anyone cares and just wants to like have access to that, I don't know if that's even legal to do because it's straight up copy pasting, but who knows? And then yeah, so every book I read that's like a note taking worthy book, because there's like fiction books. I'm just gonna be like,
Mhm.
you know. But yeah, right now, do I have it with me? No. I'm reading 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and you're reading Morphic Resonance in a marketing book, so you can learn how
Yo.
to influence people to spend money on your items.
Not influence, manipulate.
Isn't that the same thing? Isn't
Yeah.
influence just a softer version of manipulate?
Yeah. Manipulate is like, I guess there's like a negative connotation to it.
Yeah, just a different version of the same thing.
Yeah. Well, no, influence can be. Yeah, never. Yeah, you know what? What he said.
Just manipulation just sounds negative. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Well, I guess. I think manipulation is just a negative version of that. Influence can be for like a positive cause
Yeah.
a lot of the time, but manipulate like is automatically like
Well, manipulation is
with bad
without,
intent.
not even with. It could be, but it's without the person's knowledge or consent, right? That makes sense.
Anyways, habits of highly what 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It's like a corny like cliched like self-help book in a way. It's like I've read that before,
Mm-hmm.
but it's kind of cool to read. It's like it's said in a different way, so you could catch it in a different way, so you could be like, oh, that's true, you're right. Like I knew that, but like the way you saying it makes a bit more sense. The first one talks about being proactive, which is episode 7. We talked about that in episode 7.
We did.
Basically the chapter just talks about the difference between proactive and reactive people. So reactive people just like kind of just go about reacting to everything. It's the whole thing with control, right?
Yeah.
It's like everything that happens to you, the first thing you have to do is just be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this happened to me. Oh my God, why me? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, fuck. You know?
Yeah.
And then you're just standing there while your house is on fire, complaining about the fact that the house is on fire, but you're burning. So, and then he's saying proactive people are the people who are just like, okay, like, this sucks. What can I do about it? Okay, if I can do something about it, okay, let's do it. If I can't, then it's just accept it,
Yeah.
move on. Is it? I don't even know what habit 2 is. Holy shit. Nigga, I'm already forgetting it while reading it. That's kind of fucked up.
Switch conversation switch. Listen to a podcast.
Holy
and,
shit.
Paul Check was saying that there's a group like from 60 years old to 20 years old, people were like reporting like just brain fog and short-term memory loss and all that.
Like at that age?
Yeah, at that age, from 60 to 20, ranging from 60 to 20.
I mean,
And-
20 to 60?
Yeah, but it sounds better when you say 60 because 60 is like old, 20 is like young. Whatever. Anyways, so they were complaining about memory fog, blah, 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 all that. And they did a cognitive test on them, right? Just to test their skills,
Mm-hmm.
where it's at. And like they did completely fine. They got like 90s, like 99%, all that. So what they concluded that like the cause for all that is literally like we're on our phones all the time and we don't pay attention anymore. Like literally scroll, put our phone down. Eating, we're scrolling, you know? Like we're not mindful, we're not present at all.
Till
Like-
60? 60? I mean, actually, yeah, I do be seeing like old niggas now on the bus.
Well, yeah, but you also have to factor in they're old.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's and shit.
Oh, yeah, true. Wow.
But let alone people our age are having that.
Well, that makes sense. Oh, okay. Then that would be the point, I
Yeah.
guess. Like, shit, 60-year-old niggas are experiencing naturally at 60
Mhm.
is the shit that 20-year-olds are experiencing
Mhm.
right now. Man, there should be a... Bro, there's going to be a anti-social media pro-meditation podcast.
This one?
Yeah, just in general. Like, we always have something to say about this shit. Because it's true, though. Like, yeah, that makes sense. Because the thing is, there's no sense of, like...
Presence at all. You're just looking for the next thing to fill the void.
Yeah, it's like it's the presence, and it's also like the randomness of everything, right? One moment you're
Mhm.
watching this, you're reading this post about this person's mom who passed away,
Mhm.
and then this next one you're reading a post about this guy who knows how to exercise.
Yeah, or it's next post is about like the slavery or like what's happening
Yeah.
in Sudan. Like,
So it's like you don't even know what the fuck to
Yeah.
even like. You're not even consuming. You're not even consuming anymore. You're just
yeah, that's how much you're consuming.
you just sit there. You're just sitting there,
Yeah.
just becoming a zombie by the minute. It's kind of fucked up to think about, cause you don't even have something to like. You don't even take in what you're consuming.
Mhm.
You're just consuming for the sake. It's
Yeah.
just distracting, bro. It's just
And even in like public, I see so many people on their phones and their neck is probably so bad because my neck alone is
Oh, bro.
bad from watching One Piece.
I told you this. It's I was doing this morning shift. I think at 9 to 2, and then I was walking. No, at 8 to 12. I was walking to just to the store, and then there's like this bench area, and then this shorty was literally like, "Give me your phone." She was sitting like this with both her hands like that. Like it's not even like trying to like be
Like, there's
subtle.
nothing-
There's no trying to be subtle. Like maybe like this
Yeah.
or something. Like she's like.
Like, how important is the thing you're doing for it to be that close?
Bro, I saw that and I was like, all I could imagine was just her soul being sucked away.
Mhm.
It's like, that's the noise I heard in my head.
Oh, we were gonna talk about the Black Mirror episodes,
Oh yeah, we could talk. Yeah, I was saying, nigga, you don't need your phone to be that close to
just
you,
in case. Someone
nigga.
no,
Radiation,
whatever.
cuz.
That's true. I'll go airplane mode.
But what if someone calls you for a job interview? Fear of missing
The
out.
joke is that it just happened before we started.
Oh yeah, you got a job interview as we were setting up to record down here.
yes, yes.
Oh man, the Black Mirror episode's crazy. Spoiler alert. The third. Did you see the third one?
Nah.
It's pretty shit. You're not
Okay,
missing
good.
out on much. It's like a
Just it's a commentary on modern day technology and where it can go in the future and how it can impact people's lives and how negatively it can impact people's lives.
I mean that's what Black Mirror is, but
You're right.
talk about episode 1 because that's the most fucked up one in my opinion.
Yeah. Like a real twisted reality.
Bro, the reason why it's so fucked up, okay, is because I see that shit happening now. That's the thing. Basically, for anyone who hasn't seen it, I'm gonna fucking spoil it. Go watch it still, cause I mean us
If
saying
you haven't
it,
watched it and you care enough, then just put this on pause.
us saying it and actually watching it are two different things. Cause there's like music and
Yeah.
acting. Basically, it's like it sets up. It's very slow paced.
Yeah.
The first one, I was like, can you get to the fucked up part already? It's basically these two boys has been boys for like a good amount of time, like more than 11 years, and at one of the main characters, I think his name is Danny, at his birthday, his friend Carl comes over and gives them this gift, which is a game that they used to play as 11 years before. Because the setup is like they show you 11 years before and the transition is 11 years later. And then the last scene before the 11 years later is them playing that game. And then I guess a new version of the game dropped for VR. And he gifted them that. And he's like, yeah, bro, test it out. It's this new VR shit. Blows your mind. I tried it out 5 minutes. Blah, blah, blah. And then this random night after he fucked his girlfriend, his wife.
I don't think they fucked.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, I can't remember.
They did.
No, I don't think
They did. Not that one. She was trying to. She was like, because she was
Oh, I
trying to
think
have
it
a
was-
second
it was-
child.
And
And then the app told her it was like peak fertility time.
no, but then the guy's like, no. I'm too
Yeah, and he was like,
tired.
I'm too tired, which is kind of foreshadowing for what was
Yeah.
gonna happen. And then basically after his wife goes to sleep, he goes. I like how I just jumped to like them fucking. Basically after his wife goes to sleep, he goes and then he looks at the game, gets an invite from Carl, and they jump in the game and they play just one round actually, and then the second round, as they're like wrestling, just
They just make out.
make out, and then they're like, oh shit. But the weird the part that just makes you question everything, because I thought it was gonna be like a sexuality, like gay shit, like there's sexuality like episode, just that was gonna be
Okay,
it. Like
right.
he just finds out that he's gay and he has like a wife and a kid.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But that's not really where it went, in my opinion. It's open interpretation. Some people think it is, because I watched it with Ala and she was like, no, it's like they're definitely gay. But I was like, nah, I don't think so.
Because they
So
like
they
I don't know.
because Danny plays a male he plays the Lance character, which is a
Yeah.
guy, and then Carl plays
The girl.
Roxette, I think,
Yeah.
which is a girl character, and I think that's what happened. So you know I think the reason why the setup is like that is because they're connected. They're connected to those characters.
Yeah.
Because the last
From-
match
from time,
before,
yeah.
the last match before the time jump,
They're
show
playing the
you-
game.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
show you playing the game. They show you playing with those specific two characters,
Mhm.
right? So they know they're familiarized with the characters, and then he just makes out with her. I mean, Carl kisses him, Roxette kisses Lance, and then it was like, oh shit, what just happened?
Yeah.
Exit game, and then they come back to play again. And they're like, yeah, what happened last time? I was drunk. And this, like, watching that at that point, I'm like, okay, it's about them being gay, and then they have to deal with that. He has a girl he's seeing. The other guy has a fucking wife and a kid, and like he's literally set like more than 11-year-old marriage.
Yeah.
So that'd be fucked up if he just happens to be gay.
And he has a kid already.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Your dad is gay, son. He just that's it. I mean, how would that be like?
I don't know.
You're like 4 years old.
I'd be so confused.
And then your mom's just like, yeah, your dad loves guys. Like, what do you do as a kid? How do you think a kid would interpret that? I feel like they wouldn't even care.
They wouldn't really know the difference. It's like, oh, okay, that's
Yeah, I feel like actually that would be a good learning opportunity. It'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, sometimes guys like guys. And then be like, oh.
because
But-
up until the age of like 10, you don't even like the other sex.
You
They
don't
have
even, yeah,
cooties,
you don't
right?
even understand what fucking cooties. You don't even understand what fucking sex is in general. But the whole thing is the ending, which I guess they didn't really try to make it ambiguous though.
No, not really.
They kinda
You knew
just
what you
didn't
knew what
show
was
you-
happening.
They didn't show you the picture. They just give you the pieces, and they were
Yeah.
like, here. They didn't like leave any pieces out. They gave you all the pieces. You just had to connect them yourself. What do you think? Like
Well-
the ending was saying.
Ending was, well, I guess they were both bored, right? Even the wife and the guy, and really that was the point where they could meet in the middle. On his birthday, Danny could virtually fuck his friend, and then she could just go out
What a
and
good wife.
to the bar and whatever, right?
What a good, understanding wife. Holy fuck. I would, as a wife, I would not like. What?
That was so funny too when they got into the fight, and then
Which one after like when he was like, just kiss me, man.
yeah,
It's like the most manly shit.
And he's
then
like-
after when they're done kissing, he's like, so it's good. And then
Yeah.
he just dap up like the most masculine men of all
and
time.
then they start fighting for some reason.
And then they just start fighting because the guy's like, you know what? Well, because he was still in denial about the whole like video game thing.
oh yeah, he
I
was
think
like
basically the
yeah.
whole like commentary is just like the online virtual non-real world is starting to stimulate people more
yeah.
and grab people more than like this
Actual senses,
than
yeah.
actual reality. But here's the thing though, isn't VR just reality in itself? Because it's part of reality.
I mean, yes, but the thing is, our minds are connected to our bodies. So when you play with just reality like that, it's kind of fucked, right? I mean, is it fucked, or is it not? Is it just the way it is?
I don't know, because
Because at that point, you can literally create any reality you want.
I think that could be the issue actually. The fact that I think that's too much power in your
Mhm.
hands that you don't. Like I feel like it's easy to go towards that because let's say I don't know, you have a game where it's like a creative mode where you can literally just build
Yeah.
like let's say a Minecraft but like more realistic, and it's a VR like version of it, right? And you can build things. You can build a city. You're
Mhm.
basically the god. Like
Right.
and
Everything
then you
you
go
want.
back.
Your
You're done
paradise.
playing this game, and then you go back to the real world, and your manager's giving you shit. Your parents yelling at you, making you wash the dishes. You can't be God anymore
Yeah.
and just destroy like a house or your manager.
Because you don't
or
have
whatever.
at that point you don't have any struggle.
Yeah, there's no consequence.
And remember when Carl was saying when Danny was like they didn't fuck on virtual for a long time, right?
Yeah.
He tried every single computer character and he said, no, it wasn't the same.
That's when like my thought went back to maybe they're gay because he was like, it's not the same without you
Yeah.
specifically. So is it just because all of the emotional like them being used to each other through being friends for that long kind of thing?
Probably mixed in with like the fact that he's a girl in that game. So it's like like they detach themselves.
From even their physical, actual, real bodies.
Yeah.
and they start associating.
And they're literally
so
just
much.
like pure consciousness.
Because
in
in
the
the
virtual
VR
world.
game, like they show you when he's set up for the first time, like he's in first person, like he
Yeah.
is Lance, and he feels everything that Lance feels, and Carl feels everything that Roxette feels. So like the stimulation for that, I think that's just a commentary on like, because they mentioned it, they're like, I think while they were arguing about it the first time, he's like, it's just like porn. It's like porn. It's
Mhm.
like it's just like beating your meat to porn. So
That's
isn't
what he
that,
compared it to.
I feel like that's what it's a commentary on. It's just like, well, also that and just technology in general,
Yeah.
how it's just so fucking stimulating. Like it's
It's
the
like
kind of
it's taking
stimulation-
over.
It's like instant gratification on steroids.
Yeah.
Like when VR gets
Whoa.
involved, like it's instant gratification on steroids. Because there's playing a game, and then let's say I'm playing a game on this TV screen here. There's playing
And
a
it's-
game
and
on
it's-
that, and then
yeah.
being on this chair here, and then there's being inside the game.
Yeah.
There's like playing. Okay, there's playing GTA from like sitting on a chair, and then
Right. It's
blah,
pixels
blah.
on a screen.
And then there's playing GTA, and then you're in GTA, and you can shoot cops
Right.
and escape, and
Which
there's
is
no
all
jail time.
which is all taking place in your mind.
Yeah, and there's that's nigga, but that's the thing. This is taking place in our minds too.
Right. Like right
When
now
we
it's
get-
taking
when
place in our
but
mind
don't
as
you
well.
think we get bored of it, just through it being so
Easy.
Because niggas don't get bored of drugs. They just raise the fucking dose until
Yeah.
they die. So, because what I was going to say is, like, don't you think we're going to get bored of it if everything is special and there's no challenge? Because we're wired for challenge,
Well, you
right?
can create challenges in there, I guess. Right?
Yeah, but if you know you're going to beat it anyways, like, if you're God, let's say, like, in GTA, you can, I don't know.
But then
get
if you know you're
cops.
gonna beat it, you can make it harder, so you can't beat it.
What if we already are in one and we made one that's just ultra difficult, and the rule of the game was that we'd forget that we made the game?
I was listening to a podcast yesterday, and like obviously this is all theory, can't be proven, but Tibetans believe that like you get to choose your next lifetime. So, and the reason is because you want to learn something specific in your next lifetime. So you choose a certain incarnation with certain parents, certain shit that is in life, so you can learn something from that incarnation. Which is fascinating to me because, well, like, we don't know if it's true or not, but it's like everything right now and your circumstances, whatever they are, they're gonna, it's like you asked for it, and whatever you get, whatever you aspire to be, is almost calculated by your own consciousness before you even get to this realm.
Because you know what? Because if it can happen with VR, okay? Because what you're saying just sounds like what might happen to this shit if it doesn't get like regulated, which I feel like it will. I'm being optimistic here. Probably not. Because listen, here's a scenario. Okay, you try VR. It's normal now, so you just get VR for, I don't know, for Christmas. You get a system. It's fully in like established now, so it's literally connected to your brain. You feel everything you feel in VR. It's not like how it is now. Okay, you feel everything.
Full integration.
It's immersive, like it's fully immersive. Yeah. You start out, it's fun. You're like, oh, this is fucking cool. Like if that's your thing. Some people get too spooked by it and never do it ever again. You're like, okay, that's cool, and then you start playing it. You develop a dependency, but then it becomes like drugs, where you do it, but you don't enjoy doing it, but you're just serving your brain's need to do it, right?
Right.
So you're just always in VR, but you hate being in VR, always trying to find a better way to enjoy VR, just like the first time when you played it. What do you think you would do in this case? You can, let's say you figure out there's just a new game where you can literally set up the game, and then there's a point in the game, because we just watched this MK Ultra shit, right?
Yeah.
And this game can fucking erase your memory that you're in the game to add to the challenge. And I guess the challenge of the game is just figuring out that memory, like remembering that you were in the game and that you set up. What if this just happened and that's what this reality is? That's what I'm asking. Like, what if the fucking condition before you were born is you going, wipe my memory, let me go into
The only way to access it in this realm would be either through meditation or psychedelics. Really, right?
But do you
Like, how
actually
else?
remember though?
Well, there's been cases of people like remembering their past lifetimes, and like people remember places that they've never been to, and they'll be like, "This is there, this is there." Like they'll just explain shit like, "This is where this is," and they've never been there ever. Like they have like reports of kids doing this, like 5 years old. There's no way they've done this.
Cause Altered Carbon, right? Like you remember that scene when they were going to the VR world to speak to I think to
Torture?
someone. I don't remember, but it was like this underground like
Oh yeah, the bar. Yeah.
yeah, there's like this underground bar, and then everyone's just in it. Like some people literally like begged for money
Mm-hmm.
so they could go in that to get a few hours and just escape reality.
Yeah.
And if they could stand there forever, they would. So it just became like a new form of like a drug.
Yeah.
Fuck.
It's crazy.
God
And
damn.
like there's definitely going to be people who, like, if that actually comes into our reality, there's definitely going to be people who do that.
Because gaming has been legally established as like gaming addiction is like a newly like actual real
okay.
term now. Like it's a real thing that niggas could get rehab for.
Mhm.
Like there's probably centers for gaming rehabilitation.
Yeah.
So like
Not surprising.
it's just how the fuck like
How do you
'cause
control it?
I feel like it's in 50 years at least where it's gonna start to become mainstream because it's not mainstream yet. Still like in
You
this
can't even
fun
say 50 years, bro.
prototype. Yeah, that's just we're
'Cause
bad at predictions.
It's
right?
exponential. Like everything that's happening is exponential.
No, I feel like it's just so like.
'Cause
It's
once
still
you have-
hard to be believable, you know, the perfect form of it probably exists, just like the perfect form of a computer.
Right. The
Ish
government probably had
exists.
some sort
Yeah.
of prototype. That,
Like before people had computers, like they had computers.
right. That's how they got.
It was just
to
the size of a whole
right.
fucking room,
Of course.
and it took minutes for them to process a single little command. But there's probably some slow version of it out there where you can feel everything, and like witness, just like super immersive. But it's just super like just a bitch to use.
Yeah.
Or you just have to be in a specific room in this specific setting. Because the thing about them is literally like it's in a thing where all of that technology is just compressed into this little thing. Because like this, like your phone was like a whole room.
Yeah.
Like it started out as a whole room of just like things being done and then taking 20 minutes to complete one little thing. Now you can do it in like half a second.
Yeah.
Now we're taking photos on this little shit. And look how fucking small it is. It gets fucking thinner every year.
Fits in your pocket.
It fits in your pocket. Like this and this are not that different. This just a bit more powerful because it has more space. But this is still like as good. Like an iPhone 10 is probably almost the same thing as this, except the screen is smaller and you don't have a fucking keyboard.
For our audio listeners, he's comparing a
My Mac.
to the iPhone.
Oh yeah, man. Fuck audio viewers. Did you say audio viewers?
Yeah.
Yeah, you viewing this with your ears. But the second one I feel like was a bit nearer.
The second
episode.
Black Mirror episode,
Yeah, I feel like it was nearer in time than the VR one.
Right.
Because the second one is just social media.
Yeah, social media.
Because he's saying the CEO said he did it in 2008, so it'll be an alternate reality where that thing exists. It's probably you could replace it with anything that exists now.
Yeah, Facebook, Twitter.
Like how many
Instagram.
fucking phone accidents have existed where the person was probably on their phone?
Yeah, I've been in one.
Instagram. Say what?
Yeah. Well, I think because we're at a red light, and then turned green, right? And we were turning left. She was going straight, and she didn't move. So my friend's like, "Okay, let's go."
And then she started moving.
And then she started moving, but the thing was, she was going so slow that like if she looked up, she could have just easily pumped the brakes.
Fuck.
But she didn't because she's probably on her phone. So,
Bro,
and I was like
that's
right there. My glasses like flew off my face. One of my lenses came out.
Oh, so
I was like, "What the fuck?" Yeah.
Oh fuck.
On my side too.
Cause like, here's a setting for those who haven't seen it. He was. I love the way they fucking wrote that episode.
Yeah,
because
the build up.
It's because he said I was driving her home after something. I don't remember what it was.
It doesn't matter.
They were driving home, and then he said I got bored. Got bored.
It was a straight road, boring. Boring drive.
It was boring. So I got a notification about some comment I posted on a dog photo, and I check it out, and all it took was a little moment, and then bow,
Boom, crash.
she's dead. So imagine the guilt, bro.
And
the
on top of
regret.
that, the girl's mom was like comforting him, like, "Oh, it's okay," like
Oh
blah
yeah,
blah
because the
blah.
person they fucking collided
Yeah,
with
it
was
was
drunk.
drunk, so he
So
got
they
all the
blamed
blame.
that person. Probably went to jail,
Yeah.
bro, for a long time. I don't know what the charges is. Probably a long fucking time though. Like at least like I'd say 10 to 20, if not life.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a movie. So, I mean,
No, just
episode.
like nigga, like driving drunk.
Yeah, I know.
That's like easily a big charge.
Yeah.
I feel like that
Because literally, like, you can take a life easily.
Yeah, it could be life for like 25, at least. I feel like it's at least 25.
Anyways.
Because you're taking a life, like do some
Yeah.
shit that's not even like in law.
Yeah.
Like
Just negligence.
that's illegal. Anyways, but yeah, just from and like after he tells you that and you rethink of all of the whole like from the beginning, from that moment on to the beginning of the episode, and when he's in that room and he's hearing the vibrations and he just gets pissed off of all the phones of people like texting and shit, like, well, one, he probably hates himself for it, and two, he probably started hating just social media itself.
Yeah.
But it took it took him killing the woman he loves, his fucking wife or girlfriend. And it's like, fuck, like it was, and it wasn't even an important thing, you know? There's a comment
photo.
on a dog photo of someone that he probably doesn't even care about. But the thing is, like that notification, his brain probably went,
oh. Yes, give me that.
His brain was, oh, fuck, let me answer that.
Yeah.
And then just answered that. And then, boom. Just raise your head, go back into snap back into reality, and just collision.
That's the end of someone's life.
And it
that could be like that time. For that's what it was. That's what it was commentating on, right?
What do you think because they didn't add that in there for no reason. The mom who was trying to get access to his.
Oh yeah.
Things.
That was weird too, cause she just. I guess like she just. It was ambiguous, right? Cause her daughter was like, she was happy, she's fine, and out of nowhere she just killed herself.
Yeah.
And her mom was just left with the ambiguity, like, who did this? Why?
I feel like that's why suicide
reason?
is like. Not necessarily. I can't even speak on that because I don't know what it's like to be suicidal, but it's like, death doesn't necessarily happen to you. It happens to the people who love you.
Yeah.
Because that's all I could think about watching the girl's mom. Great actress. Because it's like all her life from that point on is trying to figure out, like, how did I not catch it? Because you're like, a mom, you're supposed to take care of her and keep her safe.
Yeah.
And then you think everything is good. You think you got everything straight, and then she just fucking kills herself. Yeah. What do you like? Like, I should have known is usually the first thing. How did I not know? Was it my fault? Mm-hmm. Whose fault was it? And I think the part where it ties in with social media is because there's a whole life that she lives that's probably on that specifically.
That her mom doesn't know about.
That she has no access to.
Yeah. And
she was trying to access that the entire time.
Yeah. 3 times a day, every single day.
3 times a day, every fucking day. I'll try to, if I can find I'll try to find it somehow, the scene of just to take a photo of the notebook. Because when I saw it, I was like, fuck. Yeah. Man. Like, bro.
That got me. Like, that got me chills. Like,
yo, fuck. I saw that. I was like, fuck. Like, and you see, like, the scratches from, like, previous tries, and it's probably not the first page. She looked like she was halfway through the notebook.
Like, that's causing her misery, too.
So she's been trying out, and she would have probably never got it if the guy didn't, like, hook her up. Because when an answer is right in front of your eyes like that, the photo that she looks at all the time, because it was on the photo on the boat from whatever cruise they went on. And, like, that was the password. And, like, it's so right under her eyes that she would not guess it.
Because she probably thought that it was her fault.
Fuck.
That's why she was trying to dig so deep. But she overlooked the fact that it's probably not. And the password was actually from a time that they spent together.
Yeah, it's from a positive time that they had.
So it just signifies that it wasn't.
Yeah, that's
had nothing to do with their mom.
I hope that brought a little peace.
Yeah.
Even though it's like not real, but I feel like this shit happens in fucking reality anyways. Man.
Of course, 7 billion people, of course.
Yeah, fuck, like that. Nigga, I like. It's funny because that's a B story to the A story of the episode, but to me, I feel like that's the one I thought more about, cause bro, like, she was so miserable.
Yeah. Oh, and especially in the part like where you first see her at the
which is
the
explaining
rehab
what
place.
happened.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of courage, first of all, to say
Yeah.
that. And it's funny because the guy was probably like trying to open up too about like the guilt from that. I feel like it's just some kind of like anonymous program for like guilt,
Just trauma
feeling,
shit.
guilt feeling or trauma experiencing people. Oh man, and then what do you think happened? Because basically when she pressed enter, she probably got access to a whole new world. Do you think she would get her answers from her persona? Well, that's the name of the fictional social media. Her persona account. Do you think she got answers that she needed? Because usually kids don't let their parents follow them, so she would find a bunch of posts from like shit that she didn't know about from prior years.
I think what they're trying to convey is that either if the answer is yes or no, it wouldn't matter in the end.
Keep the mic.
Even if the answer was yes or no, it wouldn't matter in the end because what's happened has happened already, and you can't really change it, right? So her being miserable for all that time was just a waste of her own time because even if she figured out what it was or not, like she was stuck. She was just stuck.
Well, I think it's I don't know, cause the thing was she was trying to just figure out what the reason was. It's irrational, of course.
Right.
Like it's grief. Like it's basically her just trying to grieve. Like it's her trying to get over it. And I feel like if she didn't get the answer, she would not, which is very rational. She could just like let go, but it's hard. Like if it's your daughter, she came out of your fucking vagina, nigga. Like you raised that nigga for like 19 years. Like there's a connection there. So
right, she wanted closure.
So she wanted some kind of closure because that's the thing. Like suicide doesn't give you, right? It's just like fuck. Like why? Like why? So like she just wanted to figure out the why, so she could be like, okay, like that happened. Whatever the why is, if it's my fault, blah, 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 blah. I can't do anything about it, blah, blah, blah. Well, depending on the personality of the person, but, oh, man, I don't know. It should just bum me out. Shit makes me sad, because I know it happens for real. Oh, man. The fuck do we even talk about now?
I don't know.
I don't want to talk about suicide.
How do we change this topic?
I can't even change this topic, bro. Oh, Morphic Resonance.
Yes.
How's that going so far? Your slowest fucking read. Jesus Christ.
It's pretty good, I guess.
Nigga. Anything new?
I mean, I kind of have the grasp of the idea of Morphic Resonance.
How many pages out of how many pages are you in?
Probably at like 80 to 100 out of 300.
What'd you say?
80 or 100 out of a 300, 400 page book.
Jesus Christ, how fucking slow are you?
Yeah, about that.
What the fuck? You're still 80 to 100 pages in?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Can we just start reading? Oh yeah, now it's 30.
Nah.
Can we just start reading Homo Deus?
You can.
No, but I want to read it with someone.
Why? So you can beat me?
So we can know. So we can know, like, so we could be on the same page. Because, like, when I was talking about Sapiens for, like, the last 3 fucking episodes, like, I'm just saying things. But, like, no one really... Yeah. I mean, you can understand what I'm talking about if I explain it properly. But if you read it, you have your interpretation of what the fuck he said. So you can be, like, add on to it. Because we don't read the same book when we read the same book. Right. You read it in your own way. There's your experience that led up to that. So...
No, I get it.
Finish fucking Morphic Resonance, my nigga. Did I say residence? Resonance. Just finish it.
Well, I'm just in the middle of like... Actually, I'm in the middle of 3 books. I keep like switching because I get bored. Yeah, I would have been done by now if I just kept reading.
Are you reading the sunflower thing?
No, I'm reading the marketing one, Morphic Resonance, and Yogi Philosophy.
How's Yogi Philosophy?
It's interesting. It kind of ties in with Morphic Resonance, where it talks about like each cell has a mind of its own, and cell groups have a mind of their own. So a group of cells will make up your knee, your shoulder, blah 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 blah. And if you have like certain tension, if you like just feel your body, and if you're holding any tension on any part of your body, that means that part of your body is contracting and it's not getting as much blood, which means the cells aren't functioning optimally. So what happens is you get chronic pain. When that happens for a long time, you get your shoulder pops, let's say, or you have a knee injury, like me. So basically, the mind of your cells, at that whatever part of your body it is, it's affecting the health of the actual physical, like, matter, right? Same with morphic resonance, kind of. Oh, and in the yogi book, it says that you can actually influence the cells, like down to the cell groups with your own mind, because your mind is connected to your body, right?
Yeah.
So you can command it, do this, do that. That's how placebo works, right?
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey, this is already happening. So
placebo's the most interesting thing.
yeah. Our viewers may not know this, but so placebo, they did a test on it. I mean, they do a bunch, but it's scientifically proven to work. So there's one test group who was given a sugar pill, and the second test group was given the actual pill, and they told both the groups that they were getting medicine, right?
Yeah, the real pill.
And they both got the exact same effects. It's just a sugar pill, but what happened was, they believed it. They believed that it was going to do something.
It was going to work, so it worked. Fuck. I wonder what it's like making that discovery for the first time as a scientist. Who like works. Imagine being the scientist who worked on that pill, the real one, and then figuring out that like people who got a sugar pill just fixed it themselves.
Yeah.
But it takes actual like real belief that it's like that's like
that's why religion works, right? Faith.
Yeah, that's like but that's so hard if you just tell yourself you're gonna placebo yourself.
Yeah.
Because then you know what you're trying to do.
Yeah. You're like meta into it.
Yeah, you're like super aware of what you're trying to do. So I feel like it's not that easy. But I feel like if you figure out how to do it.
But in the book they also give you a few methods where, like, it's like, have you heard of Reiki or just magnetic healing?
No.
Where you're sending thoughts or prayers. That's how prayers work as well. You know, like you're sending energy from your mind towards either a certain part of your body or a certain person, and you're just praying, right? You're hoping they get better or whatever it is, and that just by the energy that you transmit through your mind can actually influence the cells, whatever you're trying to reach. So they give one technique is, it has to do a lot with breathing, rhythmic breathing. So
of course it's breathing.
Yeah, of course. Right?
Of course, so fucking breathing.
You breathe in for 6, you hold it for 3, you exhale for 6, hold it for 3.
How long?
So whatever your inhale time is, you hold it for half that time.
No. But how long do you do that for? Like the cycle itself?
They don't really say. They say just like gauge it, probably like 10, 20 minutes. But you can and you can send the energy out of like your palms, because what happens when you do this, right? Or like. You can feel something.
Well, yeah, I feel your hand.
Of course, but not just that. Like, you can feel like some sort of heat.
Yeah, I feel the heat from the hand. Yeah.
So what they say is that you're actually sending prana, which is life force, through the pores of your skin, and it radiates.
Fuck. I mean, it does feel hot.
Well, yeah, that is energy, right? It is energy.
But a skeptic might say it's body heat.
Right. It is that too.
But isn't body heat just waves anyways?
Yeah, body heat is prana. It's energy. It's life force.
Exactly.
So it's a transference. It's a transference of life force to certain cell groups that might need it. And what it does is it stimulates the blood, or just stimulates the cells in general to get them working. And you can there's another one where for one in breath you stimulate, and then the next in breath you just flush it. You flush the cell groups just with energy. So what happens? It's like a bucket of water, right?
God damn.
The more you flush, the more you
God damn. Nigga.
What's it called? The more you.
Hey man, god damn.
What's that word called?
Pump.
The more you pump, yeah. The more you pump, the more the dirty stuff comes up to the top. The old stuff comes up to the top, and it gets.
Fuck, man. I think aside from fiction, that's the type of books I want to start reading. It's labeled as New Age,
which is actually funny because it's the oldest shit.
Yeah, it's
the old stuff is becoming new again. Like, for example, kettlebells aren't that old. For example, steel clubs. Indians used to use it for just like wrestling and shit.
Or acupuncture.
Yeah, acupuncture.
I want to try that.
I've tried it once.
How was it?
Feels pretty good.
Oh shit! You actually feel shit? Does it hurt?
It hurts at first, but it's piercing your skin. Just don't move. Because if you move, then like your skin moves too, and it gets fucked.
Because I was listening to I heard the first part of the Paul Check, not even the first part. I'd say the first like 30 minutes out of 2 hours of the Paul Check episode on how to evolve yourself physically. He talked about acupuncture and the finding that the scientific finding that he found was there was 0 second lag between
right,
the
the
connection
meridians.
between the sun and your body.
Mm.
And usually it takes 8 minutes for it to
I think
travel.
I've told you this before.
I think you told me
Yeah.
after you did it, maybe, unless you've done it
No, I
like a
think
long time
I
ago.
might have told you on podcast day. Anyway,
I think we
sorry
were
for
talking.
interrupting.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe I think on the podcast
Yeah.
it was like a 0 timeline, which is
Yeah.
fucked up. 'Cause 0
Because the sun to heat to the earth is literally 8
8
minutes.
minutes to reach the earth, bro.
But the fact that the needle to the meridians, the influence that has is 0. So it's impact. It's instant impact.
And that shit's old.
Yeah.
It's like old shit.
It comes from meditation, right? You observe your body, observe
The
how
fuck?
else you don't have any scientific instruments. How else are you gonna figure that out?
Fuck. Hey man, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's why that fascinates me so much because like
That's the
there's
shit.
so
I
much
think-
like all this technology now, and it's like, are you really going forward? Because how many of us are in touch with our bodies? Like our mind tells us one thing, which is receiving transmission from our body, and we just do it. We just act on it. Where we should really be taking that step back
Oh,
objectively.
when you talked about the do you say genes? No, you said
Germplasm,
uh
morphic resonance.
the cells. The cells are all like their own.
They all
they're
have
all
an individual mind.
Okay. I didn't read the book, but I had to write an essay on it, so I had to find some kind of summary of the book.
Mm.
And then when I found the summary, I was like, "Fuck! I should have read this book."
Which book?
It's called The Robot's Rebellion.
Mm.
I don't know who it's by. I forget the name of the author. I had to read it for cognitive science, intro to cognitive science for first year uni, and I need to go over those like that whole course whenever I have time. Just redo it
What was it
because
about?
cognitive science. It's like the mind.
Right.
Like subconscious and shit like that. So I feel like there's probably very, very important things to learn from that. I'll probably send you the link because it's just a Dropbox link. So like we could go over it and see whatever you want. It talks about dreams and like basically the book talks about the robot's rebellion, the robot being humans.
Mm.
And I haven't read it, so I'm just not even doing it justice, but it talks about how your genes are their own thing
Mhm.
and your genes don't really give a fuck about you. They care about surviving.
Right.
And your genes, all they want to do is reproduce
Mhm.
and stay alive. And that's why they get you to reproduce. That's why they get you to mate and shit like that. So they could keep getting passed down and not
Right.
die off.
Because we're literally just an amalgamation of
And all they're
trillions
doing,
of
all they're
cells.
doing is like, you remember that Plankton episode when it jumped into SpongeBob's head
Yeah.
and started controlling him to get
Yeah.
the Krabby Patty formula? That's all your genes are doing.
Yeah.
Just trying to
It's
get
pretty
you
crazy.
to keep them alive. And the robot's rebellion would be you rebelling as a robot. And
'Cause-
how it's like it's possible
'cause
for
even-
us to
even-
snap out of that and stop like responding to what our
Right.
genes tell us to
Because
say.
like we're literally God. We have that ability to take that step back objectively, and we know we exist. Animals don't. They don't study themselves, or at least we don't know that.
Like,
right?
I need to know what the fuck happened that made us so different.
aliens. But also another thing with morphic resonance is it talks about like
It's funny.
we literally used to be sperm cells, right? So how does something that small
Fuck. Bro,
become us?
nigga,
Like,
the
there's-
skeet.
how much
The
intelligence?
skeet you see is not even like as small as the. Let's say you skeet and it's like all of this.
Yeah.
Nigga, there's like millions of singular ones, and one
crazy.
of those ones.
One of those ones becomes millions of those ones,
One,
which contains more.
one of those ones becomes millions of those ones, which becomes one of those ones, which becomes millions of those ones, and it just keeps going. Every time I think about that, nigga, I look at my dad and I'm like, my nigga, I came from your fucking nuts. And now I'm like punching you.
It's crazy.
Nigga, what?
And okay, so he was also saying that morphic resonance, that
Wow.
there's two types of cells, right? Well, this is someone's theory. It's not morphic resonance. He was just backing it up with this guy's theory, and he's saying that So there's a germplasm, which is like the root, and then there's I forgot the name of the other one, but it's basically like the material, like the physical, like the effect of the cause. So the germplasm is the cause, and the other one is effect. So basically, the germplasm can influence the other one, but the other one cannot influence the germplasm. So basically, like that's the mind. That's the intelligence behind all the growth.
So the mind is the one that can't be influenced or can influence. Is the mind the cause?
It's a theory. Yeah, the mind is the cause.
And then the body's the effect.
Yeah. So for example, we work out, right?
Yeah,
Obviously,
body
it's
with
gonna-
mind with body.
Yeah.
Because your mind has to tell your body to wake up to go to the gym to get
Mhm.
bigger.
Exactly.
Your body's just responding to
And
everything.
even if you
your
have
mind-
like a diseased ass body, but you're a vegetable, like you're stupid. You don't know how to use your muscles properly. What use is that?
yeah, it's just a D's ass body without
Yeah.
no mind in it. Oh
With a
man,
bunch of hormones
Listen,
that fucking
we need to sit down one day and like break down. Okay, we concluded saying start the spiritual revolution is probably not the nicest thing to say because it's so egotistical.
yeah.
But when I say it, I mean like within, like us
Right,
two.
within.
How can we like?
Start your own.
How can we start ourselves, our own spiritual revolution?
Right.
Not like in the whole like that shit started like
Right. That's just started thousands of years ago.
niggas in
of course.
Japan, niggas in fucking China,
The
niggas
Buddha,
in
of
India.
course.
Like them niggas know shit we don't
Mm-hmm.
fully. They're in dimensions that we
Yeah.
don't even fucking understand yet. But I'm saying here in the West, and in this room, in this
In your community,
two of
in-
us, in this
among
friend
your
group,
friends,
in
among
our
your family.
circle, like how we can start it, how we can just
Take that
figure
first
out-
step. Really.
basically, yeah, just take the first step, just getting. Because the thing is, I think the goal is. Fuck, I'm gonna try to raise the volume for this one. Because my thing is. my thing. Sorry, I'm placing the mic right now between my legs. Nah, strong.
Whatever.
My thing is, sorry, audio viewers. I'm gonna. Okay, this is Gatno,
Okay.
and this is your body. Your mind is in Ottawa. Some people, it's in China, and your spirit is in
The water, the river, whatever.
Montreal, and some other place.
Right.
And your goal is to grab this,
Align.
and put them all fucking together. And I think that's the challenge of yourself as a human being throughout your, because it takes a lifetime. 100%.
Yeah, of course.
And we probably have moments where very brief
Mhm.
moments where it's all aligned,
Everything aligns.
psychedelics,
Yeah.
where it's all aligned and
Spiritual,
everything just feels
yeah,
super like
experiences.
just flowy and like everything just. You can just accept and see everything as is. You don't feel a need to
Yeah.
throw a label on anything.
You're
It's a book,
literally
but
you're
it's-
super present. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's a
nothing
book,
else.
But it's pages, it's letters, it's words, it's symbols. It's like you don't see it as
Yeah.
just a book. You see it as every single thing that it is.
Yeah.
You just see it as it is. You
Right.
don't see any
The
label.
complexity of
You see, yeah, you just see everything, right? And we've had brief moments of that, but
Mhm.
I wouldn't. It's very egotistical to even want that as a fucking goal. But
Well,
that's-
it's
I guess
not.
That's the
It's-
paradox
it's
of,
not,
of chasing
because-
nirvana, right?
It's not egotistical. Well, it is and it isn't, because if you're aligned, if your mind, body, and soul are all aligned, that means you won't have any anger in your heart, which means you can help people, you can serve people, you can serve people who need to align it the most.
Yeah, because
you
guess
know?
what fucking yogis do once they fucking reach enlightenment?
What?
Teach it.
Yeah. You know what? Even before it, some of them didn't used to teach it. They wanted to keep it tight,
Yeah, and then I
and
think-
now it's
Is
finally.
it the first one that was like, what the fuck? Because
Right, 'cause
from
what's the
my
point?
from my Asian philosophy class, the 3 classes I went to, out of like 10, there's one where they talked about like him reaching enlightenment, and it was like, fuck, like what the fuck do I do with this?
Yeah, of course.
Like what do?
Like, what's the point of keeping all this knowledge if I can't share it? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna die with it.
It's like yeah, so what do you do? So it's like okay, let me just teach it to these people,
Mhm.
and then he started getting
Out of pure love,
out of just wanting them to,
which is Jesus too, right? Like, forgive everybody.
Yeah, Jesus.
Just
That's all Jesus
love.
was. That's all Jesus was. Jesus was like
He's that archetype.
love your enemy even more.
Yeah, because
Your
they're suffering
enemy,
the most.
Your enemy needs to love more than your friends, because your friends, they already have your love.
Yeah.
There's already love being sent back and forth. Like there's already that connection, right? But your enemy needs to form that new link.
Because
Once that enemy's-
they're clearly like that because they have no link.
yeah, like I think it's just like lying and the bullshit thing. bullshit is indifference to lying, to the truth, or like what the lie is. Indifference to the truth. To lie, you need to know the truth, right? And I think love and fear are like bullshit and truth.
Right.
I think, fuck, is it though?
Well, in a way, it is because fear
Fear
you shrivel, right?
Because I was gonna say the reason why fear is the actual opposite of love instead of hate is because hate is just a fear of love. Hate is just you being afraid.
Right.
It's just you knowing. You have to know love to fear. I mean,
Right.
you have to know
To
love to hate.
Right.
Right. But fear is just.
Right. Exactly. It's like, why do I hate Manchester United? It's because I love Liverpool. I wouldn't hate Manchester United if I didn't love Liverpool. There'd just be another soccer team, right?
But fear is actually sounds like an opposite
Yeah.
to love. And I think that's literally what the Bible like says if you take it.
And it's like we're saying this, but it's so corny. It's like
it's
love.
corny,
It's
bro.
like it's 4-letter word, love, right? The frequency of evolution. Literally, that is what it is.
Corny is just it's been said, we know it, but we're not acting on it.
Right.
And we're deflecting. Actually, we're deflecting because we know this, but we're too lazy to apply.
We're afraid to.
Everything that's like the most simple things. Life is super simple, and that's why it's so complicated. Because we just everything.
Because we want the extravagant thing.
Exactly. Everything that's complicated, we've made complicated.
Yeah.
If you look at like how we were before, like all we needed was just a roof under it. We needed to know that we weren't gonna die today, that we're gonna eat today, and that we're gonna reproduce eventually. But that's literally just gene shit, right? Just like survival. All we need to know is that we're gonna survive, and we're content. And then everything else has been added on top of that. This room, this camera.
Yeah, and it's like nowadays
for a better camera.
Nowadays is
light.
it's like right now, our time. Like we're gonna say this obviously because we're living in it, but it feels like the tipping point where technology is moving so fast, and we can't really keep up with it. And it's got so fast that we're literally hooked on our phones, and the dopamine in our brain is being controlled by the devices in our hand, and we can't control it because we don't have the tools.
I think this is where this Alex Jones thing.
And the thing is, some people
make sense.
Like all the conspiracies.
Because there's Tim sent me that, and I listened. It was a 5-minute clip from like the episode before the most recent one with Alex Jones on Joe Rogan. He talks about there's evil spirits who are trying to get us to stop us from advancing,
right?
Along with angels. There's like the angels and the
right. I remember
ones,
that.
right?
Yeah.
And then the evils are trying to bring you to your demise, and then it's easier, right? It's like it's fucking Satan and God.
Right, sleeping in. It's easy as sleeping in.
Satan's like, hey man, I'll give you all the money, all the bitches, everything you need, all those shits to fill in those. I'll give you all the instant gratification.
Of course.
And slowly just take your soul away in the meantime. So you're not realizing it because you're too busy enjoying yourself.
It's like plastic surgery.
And then when you finally look back up, you're in hell.
Your body sagging.
When you
all
finally
that.
look back up,
You're
bro,
miserable
the Bible
again.
Is beautifully written. If you just don't take it literally.
It's a metaphor.
Bro, just give me your little soul, and I'll give you success. I'll give you all the gold, all the bitches, all the money, all the best house, so you can stun on niggas. Niggas will envy you, blah, blah, blah. But while you're in that, I'm slowly pulling you to hell. And you when you snap out of it.
Yeah. Because you become desensitized to the amazing thing that is just life and the ordinarity of life. Like literally, look at your hand right now. Look how complex it is. Like you can't even count the amount of lines, man. That's amazing. But we're
every fingerprint is like different. And
but what do we want? We want to be on Instagram. We want money. We want cars. Blah 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 blah. Be content with your looking at your fucking hand.
Because the suffering in hell eternally is just the dying unpeacefully.
Right. It's wanting the next thing. Right.
It's dying with regret. It's dying on your deathbed going, oh my God, all of this shit that I thought was valuable was not
dissolved. It's gone.
It's gone. All of these fake friends are not here right now by my side. My parents are dead. I don't have anyone to fucking be here to like even care about me. I'm just here dying. And it's too late because my body doesn't even work anymore. You're just in hell eternally. You die in pain.
Exactly.
And then you basically die in limbo in a way. You're just like, fuck. Like,
which is purgatory, right?
Yeah. You're just there. You're just there.
It's so funny how there's connections you can make between like just reincarnation and Christianity, like the purgatory.
Yeah, you're born, like let's say you die in that state, you're born just in a miserable, in the same place you left. Oh fuck! And in
And
heaven,
we twist that shit up, like us humans, like it's tribal shit. Like, nah, this is right.
and what does heaven teach? Don't fall for temptation,
Mhm.
and love
And you'll be
love
happy,
your
right?
community, love your family, love your enemies, and heaven. You'll be in heaven eternally.
Right. You
You'll
have
be
everything you
happy.
want.
You already have everything you want, which is God, yourself,
Mhm.
and everyone around you. Because if you consider, let's say, the universe is God, because He created us, everything you need is already here.
Mhm.
The universe. So everything you already have is already everything you need. Everything else is just
But we have now we're trying to create something else. It's funny because 2,000 years ago there's meditation and all that, right? I always come back to this, but 2,000 years ago there was meditation, looking within yourself,
yeah.
and now with this scientific revolution and all that, we've looked outside and tried to make sense of the world from the outside, not necessarily from the inside, but looking at things on the outside. Gravity, blah blah blah, technology, science, like planes and shit. And it's literally getting to the point where we have outsourced all our capabilities to machines, calculators, phones, word processing.
Bro, this is one of the best $1 purchases I've ever made in my life. I need to fucking pick it up. Because this is the book that I was reading, and mid through reading it, I had what I believe was an ego death. Laurie O'Brien's History of the Future. One of the things that's repeated a lot is the fact that you're not special. I'm not special. It's like a little part where she just says that I'm not special. You're not special. Can you handle it? Most people can't handle it. And there's also one moment where she, like, the rest of the chapter is just don't be a product of the machine because you made the machine. So what does that make you if the thing you made
Now controls you.
now controls you? Because that's what's going on. We created the machine, but now we're becoming a product of the machine.
And we need
New iPhone, new
and back to
car.
just the steps we can take. Like, we literally have to rewind, man. We have to slow down. We have to slow down our minds. We have to like, you can't slow down society. The only way you can slow down society is it starts in the mind, right? It starts on the inside. And there's communities of people right now who are all into that wellness stuff, right? Wellness, meditation, all that. But the problem is, how do you do that on a massive level?
I think it's this. I'll play the video for this. It's the willingness to dance alone for a majority of the time. It's the video of the guy at the festival.
Yes. There's also that
where he's dancing, and
Okay.
it takes 5 minutes before the first
Right.
person joins him.
Right, but the problem is, everyone else is looking on their phones. They don't even know that he's dancing. They don't even realize the people getting up.
Well, there's the people recording him, right?
Right.
There's the people
But then in
recording
our-
him. But yeah, how do you get the
Yeah.
people who are on their phones to join
Yeah.
the dance? Well, it'll be easier the bigger the circle is, right? What happened was,
Right.
like, I'll hopefully the video
That's
is playing
true.
right now as we're talking. It's just he starts dancing. There's a short version of the video before it, which is funny, which I think is just very fitting. They shorten the video to show exactly when he's dancing for like 30 seconds before the first person joins, but the full video is 7 minutes, and he's dancing for like 5 minutes by himself. And then some people join and then leave, but it never catches on. But he keeps going. He doesn't care. He's being laughed at for the start of it. People are laughing at because he's dancing freely, like how you would dance like in the shower when you're
Right.
naked. You're looking at your dick move and shit. I do that. That's why I said that.
Helicopter.
Or when you smack it.
Yeah, so loud. How does that?
He's like 5 minutes. Like, some people join and leave, but what happens is when someone joins him, he like welcomes them.
Right. I remember seeing
He
that video.
integrates
Yeah.
them into the dance. So he'll
As an equal.
They'll do physical contact. He'll be like, yeah, let's touch hands, blah, blah, let's hold hands and dance. And then eventually one guy joins, and then he's telling his friends come in. There's like a little bit of hesitation, and 2 friends join. 2 people join.
Mm-hmm.
1 person joins. 3 people join.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
4 people join. And it's just
Fucking hundreds of people.
coming.
Yeah.
And by the end of the video, and it's so exponential.
Yeah.
It's super exponential because by the time 5 people are in that circle, it's starting to be like consistent people joining. And then by the time the song is done, the video is done, it's like a small crowd. And then people were laughing, were like, "Oh shit, this is fucking cool," but they were laughing at him like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And it's that willingness to be laughed at, to be. Elon Musk was laughed at when he wanted to do all the shit that he now does, and he's successful in. Steve Jobs, when he said, "Let me remove a keyboard from this phone and make it so that you can just touch the screen and swipe and do all of these things, and you can have thousands of songs," blah blah blah, laughed at. There was a long moment. They don't show you these moments because no one wants to admit that, but there's a long moment of dancing by yourself in front of the crowd and being laughed at and videotaped and being, look at this stupid guy, probably high as shit, look at him looking stupid. But once that one person joins, it gets better from there. Yeah. That's how we're gonna end it. It's been an hour. Can you believe that?
I have to.
Yeah, it's been an hour and like a few minutes. Anything else you want to see?
That's it.
Is that what you wanted to see?
Also, just give the earth money.
Give the earth money. I wanna figure out how to transcend my stupid
monkey mind,
primary instinctual self, because it's fucking annoying, and I don't want to fucking respond to it anymore. It's so strong. It's just genes trying to survive. It's fucking annoying. Niggas, stop mate calling on Instagram. When you're 60, you will realize it doesn't matter.
What'd you say?
I told niggas to stop mate calling on Instagram.
Mates calling.
Mate.
I heard make calling.
No. Mate calling on Instagram and social medias and videos, because once you're 60 and almost dying, it'll be the last fucking of your worries. Build something. Be useful.
Observe your breath.
Observe your fucking breath.
For at least 5 minutes.
A day. Actually, like, start 5 minutes a day, but if you can, go like three times a day. Like,
don't give them an easy way out. 5 minutes, bro.
Morning, bro. No, I'm saying like 5 minutes, like 3 times a day. Like in the morning, do 5 minutes. On the bus or something, like, I don't know, when downtime, instead of picking up your phone, try to just observe your breath for maybe do some breath work for 5 minutes, and before you go to sleep, it'll help you have control over your days a bit more.
And your own physiology
right now is just control, and your physiology too. Your body gets better, just easier to go about life if you
so if you want to live longer, just do that breathwork meditation.
Can I say it this time?
What? Say what?
Give us money.